Question: what do comets, big oil, rough sex, racism, and John Lennon all have in common? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to GoAT Trades. This is episode 4. And did you figure out the riddle? Well, the answer is we're talking about all 5 topics today. I wanted to do separate episodes about all of them, but I wanted to be timely, so I'm doing a little bit about each today. So let's get down to it. Number 1, the protest up on Burning Mountain, just east of Vancouver, against Kinder Morgan. Now, Kinder Morgan is an oil company based out of Houston, Texas, that has proposed twinning their current existing pipeline around and through Burning Mountain. Here's the thing though. The city of Burnaby, where Burning Mountain is 100% opposed to the twinning of the Trans Mountain Pipeline. However, things started to get really heated back on November 14th when the BC Supreme Court granted an injunction to Kinder Morgan to remove protesters who've been blocking them from performing tests in Burning Mountain. So unfortunately, last week, Thursday, November 20th, the RCMP, the Canadian Mounted Police, had to move in and started to arrest protesters who were crossing the police line. In the last week or so, over 100 people have been arrested. Then on Thursday, November 27th, yesterday, the BC Supreme Court rejected Kinder Morgan's application for an extension on the injunction. They'd asked for the injunction to be extended to December 12th instead of the original December 1st. On Sunday, Kinder Morgan needs to clear out and get their stuff out of there. Furthermore, the judge had ruled that all civil contempt charges against all the arrested protesters had to be dropped. Personally, when locals are protesting against an international oil magnate coming in and doing some drilling in a conservation area, and these people who are protecting their own personal land and interests are being arrested by their own national police force in a city that is 100% stated they are against this, something is wrong. Number 2, somebody I actually kind of looked up to, Jian Ghomeshi. Now, if you don't know who he was or who he is, Jian Ghomeshi was the host of Q, the super popular arts, culture, and entertainment program on CBC Radio. This guy got fired by CBC late in October because he told them that he basically was abusing an ex-girlfriend. They canned him. He then goes crazy on Facebook, writes this huge rant, and starts calling them out, saying that they fired him unjustly and unfairly, and then he goes ahead and launches a $55 million lawsuit against the CBC. Altogether, 9 women have now come forward with allegations of non-consensual rough sex with Jian. On Tuesday, November 25th, he dropped the $55 million case against the CBC. And then on Wednesday, November 26th, he actually turned himself into the police and now faces 5 charges, 4 for sexual assault and 1 for overcoming resistance, choking. This idiot had to post $100,000 Canadian for bail and, get this, has to live with his mother. Jian Ghomeshi is 47 years old and has to live with his mom. Wow, that is so sad, Jian. I'm guessing the reason the judge let you live with your mom is so that she can beat some crap out of you and put some sense back into you, man. Number 3, the hot topic, Ferguson, Missouri. Now, you already know about this one. August 9th, Michael Brown was shot by Officer Darren Wilson and killed. As you also know, this Monday, the grand jury decided not to indict Darren Wilson. I'm not going to jump in and say whether it was murder or it was an accident. These protests are a-okay, protests are fine, but these riots that happened in Ferguson, Missouri the next day or two and across the United States, in New York and LA and other places, look, people have the right to protest, but what's the point in rioting and looting? You're not helping your cause. Here's the thing. We all know what the deeper issue here is. It's the fact that in America, race relations tend to be just below the surface, bubbling away. Take Trayvon Martin back in 2012 in Florida. Now you got Michael Brown. This is not helping the case that a lot of minorities, especially blacks in the States, have. They're feeling like they're being held down by the man. I'm Canadian and I don't know, I don't get it anymore. It just, my heart breaks hearing all this stuff. I don't understand why people can't seem to get along. I know there's a lot of history, but This is getting out of control. Number 4, the Lennon wall in Prague. No, not Lennon. Lennon. Back in 1980, after John Lennon's assassination, somebody just started painting portraits of Lennon and quotes from his songs on this wall. Now, this is back during the communist era, so any expressions of Western art or civilization was banned outright in Prague. No matter how many times the police in Prague tried to paint it over and take it down, they'd always find more graffiti on the wall, and eventually they just couldn't keep up with it. Then in 1989, the Velvet Revolution ousted 41 years of communism in Czechoslovakia, and this wall became just a huge tourist attraction. People from around the world, including myself, have come to this wall just to see the beauty and all the artwork and everything. And it's on Monday, November 17th, people in Prague woke up to this. People were pissed. Turns out a bunch of local art students, thanks art students, decided to paint over the wall in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the Velvet Revolution. Yeah, people fucking freaked out. The guy who owns the wall is trying to sue these students, but luckily, people didn't give up. And now, as you can see, people already started congregating again and are now repainting the wall. Number 5, my personal favorite story, the death of the Philae lander on Comet 67P. Yay, we landed on a comet, but yeah, things didn't go as planned. This lander, the Philae lander, was sent down and was supposed to shoot some harpoons into the comet because the comet has such weak gravity. It needed these harpoons to anchor itself to the comet. Unfortunately, when it was supposed to fire off the harpoons, they malfunctioned, the harpoons were fired, and the Philae lander bounced not once, but twice, landing in the shadow of a huge cliff on the comet. Now, this is problematic because Philae lander is solar powered, and it was only getting like 20 minutes to an hour of sunlight in a 12-hour comet day, and that's not enough. And as soon as the researchers realized this, they realized they only had until that Saturday to just turn on everything and get as much data as possible because they realized this mission was doomed. On November 27th, some good news from the ESA. They've done their calculations and they think that in March of 2015, the Philae lander, regardless of where it is in this cliff face, will be close enough to the sun and get enough sunlight per day that they'll actually be able to turn it back on slowly, but eventually turn it back on and get it to work again and complete the mission. And that's it. I want to thank you guys for listening again to me, G of all trades. Now I know maybe not all these topics or even any of them might matter to you, you'll probably maybe even care, but they matter to me. And each one of these topics deserves probably a video all on its own and then some, but I really wanted to keep this relevant because all these things happened really recently, right when I started my channel. I wanted to talk about all of them, but I didn't want to miss out. So that's why this video is, a lot of information crammed in a short amount of time. And I will be talking about some of these things more in detail, like in March of 2015, I'll be talking about Philae all over again. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and by the way, if CBC is looking for a new brown guy to host a TV show or a radio program, I know maybe it's too soon, but give me a couple of months or years and maybe I'll be good enough.